So we'll go stand up right there facing the south, right? Om. Yeah. Om Hari Om Tat Sat Pretatma Shanti Ram Nam Satya Hai. So at this time, as we prepare to start the Antyesti samskar or the after death rites for the departed, I invite everyone at this time to stand for a few moments as we join in prayer to the Supreme Lord of the universe, to the Divine Being, the one who is identified as the Param Atma, because that comes with the understanding that when we are faced with death or the advent of death, that really entails the separation of the spiritual from the physical, the soul, of course the spiritual being the soul, which we consider to have departed the body, and so the body now remains, of course, lifeless. So these rituals, the rituals that we perform now, they are meant to assist the soul on the journey in the hereafter. And what we seek or what we ask for is moksha or liberation. This is the underlying wish that we have. This is the ultimate goal in the life of a Hindu. Moksha is liberation or salvation. That is to say, the return of the soul into oneness with the Supreme Soul or the Paramatma. The soul within us is called the Jivatma. So this is the underlying and the main goal and the thoughts that we are holding in mind while performing these rituals, right? And so we identify Bhagwan Sri Vishnu as the name that represents that Paramatma or that Supreme Soul. So you focus your mind now on Lord Vishnu. Om Vishnu in your mind as you ask of him that, O Bhagwan, now that this life has come to an end, we seek to commend the soul into oneness with you. We pray for the attainment of moksha. What we say is, Preta moksha pradobhava, O Bhagwan, may that soul find oneness with you, which is the ultimate goal and the ultimate release from all suffering and hardships and so on. So this is what we pray for. We join together in prayer. Of course, you are invited to pray in whatever way you know how as well. Hari Om. Apavitraha pavitro va sarvavastham gatopi vayah smarita pundarikaksham sabahebhyantaraha shuchihi. Om yam brahma varunendra rudramataha tunavant divyaistavayr vedai sangha parakramopanishadair gayanti yam samaga dhyanavastita tadgatena manasa pashyanti yam yogino yasyantam navidu surasura devaya tasmai namaha. Om Tvamadi Deva Purusha Puranas Tvamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam Vetasi Vedyam Cha Param Cha Dhama Tvaya Tatam Vishwamanantarupa. Om Anadina Dhano Deva Shankachakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundari Kaksha Pritamoksha Pradobhava Hiranyagarbha Purushaha Vyakta Vyakta Swarupinaha Asya Pretasya Mokshartam Suprito Bhava Sarvada. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat Pretatma Shanti Ram Nam Satya Hai. So everyone can take back your seats now. You could rest your floor anyway on the two sides here. Now before we begin any ritual, in this case we are about to undertake the ritual that is called the Antyesti samskar. This really refers to the after death rites that are applied to the departed individual, and all of us of course expect to have after death rites or Antyesti samskar performed for us. And what it entails is not only what is being started today. This is really the minimal part of the entire ritual. The main reason for this part of the ritual or today's ritual is really to return the elements of the body to the earth from which it has come through the medium of the fire. And of course, for us to take the moment to say our final goodbye, and of course, and so on. So the Antyesti samskar only starts today, and it entails it will be done over the next 10 days, the 10 pindas that will be offered, followed by the ritual that is performed by the riverside, called the daskatra or the shaving ceremony, followed by the offering of 16 monthly pindas over the course of 1 year, one Hindu calendar year, not the Western calendar year, right? The Hindu calendar year is calculated a little different. And so 16 pindas will be offered, and then the 1 year bandara is to be completed at the end of one Hindu calendar year, or just about between 11.5 to 12 months. So when you take this sankalp, which is translated to mean also the promise or the commitment to fulfill that ritual, you are making the promise to perform the ritual on behalf of the departed individual from beginning to end, which starts today and includes everything up to the 1 year bandara, right? And this is dedicated, or this is recorded by Lord Vishnu, who is the record keeper for all the rituals as well. He's known as Yagyapati, or the receiver of rituals. So you would take his name while I take the date, time, and location according to the Hindu calendar on your behalf, right? So Om Vishnu in your mind while I take date, time, and location according to the Hindu calendar. Om Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat. Most important thing is the water. Om Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat, Hari Om Tat Sat, Vishnur Vishnuho. Adya Sri Brahmanohni Dvitiya Parardhe Shri Shvetavara Kalpe Vaiva Swatman Vantare Ashtavimshati Tame Kaliyuge Kalipatam Charne Punyakshetre Baudavatare Vartamane Trinidad Deshe Guaico Tamana Road Sangre Guaico Grame Shri. So his date and location. कालयुग संवत्सरे उत्तरायणे वैशाख मासे कृष्ण पक्षे द्वादशी तिथौ श्री गुरुवासरे मेष राशि स्थिते सूर्य कुंभ राशि स्थिते शशांके च शेषेषु ग्रहेषु यथा यथा राशि स्थान स्थितेषु सत्सु. Take now your own name in your mind first, because you are the person performing the ritual. Amuka gotrasya amuka nama. Take now the name of the departed person in your mind. Amuka pretasya. And if you could say this after me, because this describes the ritual that you will be performing on his behalf. Antyesti karam aham karishye. Touch to your forehead and place it somewhere nearby the head there. And say Sri Krishna Arpan. Right, karam aham karishye really means I am going to perform this karmas on his behalf, right? So just take his name. Tell me what was his proper name. You know his Rasi name? You have a Rasi name? Oh, we go use the name? The name is Kisun. So RAUL Kisun Anil Gajadhar. Alright. Oh, we go mainly on the Rasi name, right? So take that name and sprinkle water a few times for the purification of the body. Om Kashyap Gotrasya RAUL Kisun Pretasya Mritstane Shavanimitam Snanam Mayadiyate. You could sprinkle just like just about 3 times. Yeah, that good. Yeah. Right, that good. So now you're using this finger. You could stand from that side. And you're touching the chandan, yeah, and you're going upward, or downward, sorry, right? You're just pulling a little thing downward, then you're touching by the 2 ears, by the chin here, and the 2 hands. Om Kashyap Gotrasya RAUL Kisun Pretasya Mritstane Shavanimitam Chandanam Gandham Maya Diyate Tava Upatishtatam. Could touch his hand while he doing them things, right? You could take and just touch the forehead, right? Like he just use this finger, touch the forehead. The same way, in the same spot to make it right. And you could spray the perfume now. Om Kashyap Gotrasya RAUL Kisun Pretasya Mritstane Shavanimitam. You could spray a little bit, and you could leave it right there, right? Om Kashyap Gotrasya, Rol Kisun Pretasya, Mritas over the head, straight over, right? You could bring it around, and, yeah, and you could fix it properly, right? Om Kashyap Gotrasya, Rol Kisun Pretasya, Mritastane Shavanimitam, Pushpamala Maya Diyate, Tava Upatishtatam. They're going to need a little bit of space, right, to walk around. So when you're right, so you're starting, you're keeping the body on your right, you're waving the arti towards the body while you're walking around. And then as you're passing by here, you could touch your forehead and complete the circle, and you're doing 5 circles around, 5 circumambulations, right? And so we offer the light, which is described as lighting the pathway that the soul might have to take, because it says, the scripture says to us, Hari Om Yamadware Mahagore Andena Tamasavrite Tatravalokanarthaya Deepo Yamupatishtatam. So sometimes the soul has to take the journey through the 16 cities of Yamraj. And it is said that is towards the southern gate of the city of Yamraj, who is the Lord of Justice. And it is said that depending on the karmas that we have taken with us, that pathway is a dark and scary place filled with many terrors and difficulties along the journey. This is described as the journey for the wicked soul, right? But we don't know the weight of anyone. We are not the judge of anyone's karmas. And so we offer light for removing negativities and evils, etc., and darkness from the journey. Om Kashyap Gotrasya, Rol Kisun Pretasya Mritastane Shavanimitam, Deepam Maya Diyate Tava Upatishtatam. And of course, once more we pray for that goal, that ultimate goal that we are seeking. We speak to that Supreme Lord of the Universe, Om Anadi Nidhano Deva, Shankha Chakra Gadadhara, the one who is without beginning and end, who stands outside, both inside and outside of the material universe. That one, of course, who we perceive in the form of Lord Vishnu, wielding the 4 hands, carrying the 4 items, the Sankh, the Chakra, the Gada, Padma. 5. Om Anadi Nidhano Deva, Shankha Chakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundarikaksha, Preta Moksha Pradobhava. Please, Bhagwan, grant Preta Moksha, grant this soul moksha or liberation. Now we offer the first pinda. The first pinda that is offered is considered as a final offering to the divinities, whichever divinities preside over the home, that is to say, whichever divinities the person would have spent their life in devotion or worship to, offering puja, rituals, prayaschit, what have you. This first pinda is dedicated for their satisfaction. It is saying to them that consider this as the final offering that this person will, we are giving this as the final offering that this person can give, because this life that has now come to an end, and so consider this as the finality of this life. No rituals, no offerings, no puja, and so on are to be expected anymore. So accept this pinda as the closure for the life of this person. The person now is carrying with them the record of this life and whatever karmas and devotion, etc. they have offered. They are carrying that in totality now. So this is the meaning behind the first pinda that we offered. The second one that is offered by the gate, called the Dwar Desh Pinda. It is for the gateway of the place of death. And it says, we are saying to Bhagwan, as the person exits the gateway of the home, we pray that the gateway of the heavenly regions would be open to that person. That is signified by the second pinda that will be offered afterward. Om Kashyap Gotrasya, Rol Kisun Pretasya, Mritastane Shavanimitam, Ekate Pindo, Maya Diyate Tava Upatishtatam. Put it, and don't let it break, right? Try to not let the hand squeeze it. Om Kashyap Gotrasya, Rol Kisun Pretasya, Eshatil Te Angeliste, Maya Diyate Tava Upatishtatam. And of course, the funeral is taking place in the inauspicious period where certain constellations are presiding overhead that we consider to be inauspicious when death or funeral occurs during that period in time. And so we make some offerings to the presiding divinities or the presiding deities of these constellations. They are known in Sanskrit as Dhanishta and Shatabhisha and Revati and so on. So once more, Om Vishnu in mind. Om, take his name, Om Kashyap Gotrasya. Raul Kisun Pretasya. Dhanishtadi Panchakajanya Durmaranadi Vamsharishta Nivaranartam Panchak Vidhanam Karishe. Touch the forehead and just touch it near the body. Say Sri Krishna Arpan. Om Narayanaya. Take the first one in your hand. You could rest on this somewhere right here. See, just make sure it's fallen, right? And take the first one. Om Vaso Pavitramasi Shatadharam Vasoho Patrimasi Sahasradharam Devastva Savita Punatu Vasoho Pavitrena Shatadharena Suptva Kama Dhukshaha. Oh, you did them already. Om Hari Om. You could place this one now above the head here. Om Vasubhya Namaha Pretavahai Namaha. Take the second one. Om Varunasyotam Bhanamasi Varunasya Skambasar Janisto Varunasya Ritasadanamasi Varunasya Ritasadanamasi Varunasya Ritasadanamasid Om Varunaya Namaha Om Preta Sakhaya Namaha. You place in that one between the right arm and the body. Between the right arm and the body, right? Take the third one. In the name of the deity called Ahir Buddhnyaya. Om Uttanno Hir Buddhnyaha Srunot Vaja Ekapad Prithvi Samudraha Vishwe Deva Rita Vridho Huvanastuta Mantraha Kavishasta Avantu. Om Ajay Kapadaya Namaha. Om Pretapaya Namaha. I put it right between here, right? Between the left arm. Take the next one. Om Shivo Namasi Swadhiteste Pita Namaste Astu Mamahi Gum Sihi Nivartayam Yayushe Nadhyaya Prajananaya Rayasposhaya Suprajastvaya Suviryaya Om Ahir Buddhnyaya Namaha Om Preta Bhumi Paya Namaha on the navel. Om Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Take the last one. Om Pushantava Vrate Vyayannarishyema Kadachana Stotarasta Ihasmasi. Om Pushne Namaha. Om Pretahartre Namaha. You bring in that one and put it between here. So at this time, whoever came prepared to offer some words in memory of the deceased, you can take the opportunity to do so now.
Thank you. To everyone. Okay. RAUL ANIL GAJADHAR was born on May 16, 1972. Was the son of he was born under the Gajadhar. Raul was the third of four siblings. He grew up in a small, close-knit community of Guaico. As a child, Raul was not an as an infant, it was discovered that he had a hole in his heart. It was from then that Derek and I started shielding and protecting our baby brother from anything that would bring him harm. I guess we really spoiled him. Matter of fact, his Didi, his aunt, who lived a stone's throw away from us, his cousins Andrew, Patsy, Bobby, Kane, and Addie became his protectors as well. All his uncles, aunts, and many cousins did everything in their power to ensure he was well again. At the age of 7 years old, Raul, along with our mom and his ama, his grandmother, went to Canada for open heart surgery. When he reached Canada, it was discovered by the doctors that Raul had 2 holes in his heart. The doctors were astonished. The doctors were astonished how he was able to walk and run and play, living with that condition. Nevertheless, the surgery was a success, and he stayed 2 months in Canada to recuperate. This was his second chance at life. After he returned, he excelled in mathematics and sports. He proved he was a force to be reckoned with. During his childhood, he was always the smallest person on the field to play cricket with his childhood friends, Rajesh, Ramesh, Rajan, Andy. However, when Raw got out, it was a difficult task to get the bat away from him. He would take his bat and say, "I don't play," and walk away. His scowling face and sarcastic demeanor was known by all, especially his 2 nephews, Shivan and Ravi. Raul became their surrogate father and did almost everything for them while they stayed in Grande for their education, secondary education. From their antics in the kitchen, late at night, to them having to tell Raul they could travel home from school. Now I'm talking about 2 big boys going secondary school. Every evening, Raul would be waiting by the school gate for them, and their reaction was always, "Oh God, oh I'm Tehi boy." Those were laughter and happy times. There are so many memories, but it would take an eternity to finish everything. His father was his good friend, and every evening upon returning home from work or cricket practice, Daddy would be in a hammock and Mommy roll Sharon. That's Nini, he gave her that nickname. And myself would sit around and discuss what went on during the day. It was a daily tragedy struck when our father passed away in 1996. Raul became withdrawn for a while. As a close-knit family, we helped each other to get through this difficult period. Now I'll read it. Fast forward many years later, he got married. And on the 10th of July 2007, his carbon copy was born. Aryan, his everything. Raul lived his life for his princess, who he affectionately called Boo. As everyone knows, we lived in close proximity to each other, and we were always together. My mom, his sister Sharon, Nini, Raul, Arya, and myself. My big brother, Derek, always stayed in contact with us through daily calls and weekend visits. He lives in Piaco. To the Hillview community, you all were his life, after Ari, of course. Ari, Mahes, Leslie Mahes, Nigel, Stephen, Pano, Mr. Charlie, Chari, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Batson. If I did not out some names, please forgive me. To all female members, staff, and his beloved students, we will always be eternally grateful to every single one of you for being his second family. The never-ending love and support you all gave him will never be forgotten. To Mr. and Mrs. Mohammed, your unwavering love, kindness, and support to Raul and Ari will never be forgotten. Teddy Jr., Brandon, Nishka, Kevin, Varad, Ruel, Riker, and again, please forgive me for not remembering everyone's name. These are the names I remember offhand out of the many students he was so proud of. You all made it worthwhile for him to get up and to go to school from Grande on a daily basis without fail. Never once did he complain about traveling to his beloved school, Hillview College, and his students. It would be remiss of me not to mention by name each one of his aunts who played a pivotal role in his life growing up. Dear Rolly, his aunts, Auntie Pearl, Auntie Vera, who is deceased, Auntie Gemma, Auntie Nisha, Auntie Esther, Didi, deceased, Auntie Popo, Auntie Barbie, Auntie Tolo, Auntie Dolly, Chan, deceased, Christine, Charmaine, Auntie June, and Auntie Lydia. Uncles, Uncle Sonny, who we call Papi, Uncle Lion, Uncle Selwyn, Uncle Noble, Uncle Nip, Uncle Trevor, Uncle Dale. Please forgive me, I have to call all these people's names. Uncle Dave, Uncle Renzi, Jerome, and Alvin. His cousins, Sandra, Patsy, Bobby, Ken, and Addie. Visham, Jaso, Daniel, Anthony, Ronnie, and his sisters. Arlene, Russell, deceased, Lydia, Anel, Ria, Venture, Vidya, his kakoi, that was his name for her. Leah, Joey, Jai, Khalil, Kadeen, Crystal, David, Camille, Carla, Aaron, and Javid. To all our neighbors, thank you. Raul was their born and bred Guaico boy who never passed any one of them without saying, hey, oh yeah boy. To all his many friends, some names we cannot recall, or I cannot recall, we thank you all for your constant support. G1, Darren, Kisundat, Angad, Balraj, Ramesh, Roma, David, Euclid, his backbone. The list goes on and on. I cannot mention how much he loved and appreciated his special group of friends. Thank you. Vidya, thank you for giving him the most precious gift in his life. His one and only beloved daughter, Ari. His drivers, Keith and Andy. You all know how he felt about you. There was never a time when he needed to go somewhere. When my sister was able to drive him, you all were constantly there for the dynamic duo to go on their many excursions from Guaya to the Southlands. In fact, the whole of Trinidad. You both were there for him in more ways than one. To Cindy, thank you for being there for him always. Listening, talking, advising. Thank you. Rohan, constantly in the shop because he always forgetting something. To the teaching fraternity, Raul's colleagues in education, thank you for letting him shine on his platform. Please forgive me. I must mention that the bond between our mom, or how he would affectionately call her ma, And I'm saying it how he used to say it. And Raul was infinite. My mother saw him as a baby still, even though he was a second-class child, taking away my sister's attention. He, as with the rest of us, made sure my mom, was the number one priority. Whenever he came around our side, we would jokingly say, "Mom, look, King Raul come." To which he would tell her while patting her head, "Mom, know I'm your favorite, but keep it on the low. Go beat me up." Their bond was, now, and forever will be unbreakable. My mom, Derek, Sharon, Nini, Shivan, Ravi, Ari, Maud, Renuka, Prashant, we thank you all for your unwavering love and support. If I have missed out anyone in Raul's life, please forgive me. Rest in peace, our beloved brother, son, father, uncle, nephew, cousin. You are flying high. Angels. Thank you. You okay?
Celebrating the life of RAUL Gajadhar. Today we honor the incredible life of RAUL Gajadhar, also fondly called Raul, Teach, Sir, Gaj, Mr. Gaj, a man whose impact reached far beyond his abode or the classroom walls. To his daughter Ari, he was a source of strength, love, and endless dad jokes, and a great provider. I personally witnessed his love for Ari, as I was invited along some of his many shopping days with her. And of course, he dropped everything else because of Ari. Ari was the center of his world. To his siblings, a dependable rock. Raul had a special love for his siblings and would have done anything for them to be happy, even keeping a secret of him not being well because he did not want to worry them or burden them. He often worried about his mom and would call to say he is worried about his mom when she fell ill. It was one of the few times I will see him panic. He adored his nephews, whom he often exclaimed were doing well and were more like little brothers to him. To friends and colleagues, he was the kind of person who could lift spirits with a single look or one of his classic one-liners. Raul had many friends, too many to mention, but despite this, he was still a very private person. He loved a lime that included plenty food and a good game of all foods, but most importantly, a good banter with lots of talks, jokes, and laughter. I met Raul through cricket at an early age in high school, Northeastern College versus Sangre Grande Secondary. In 1986, he entered Northeastern College and became my classmate. It was there that we became closer. Thereafter, we played cricket together and friendly football with some of our other high school friends who remained in contact with each other. As life became busy with managing work and family, the group dispersed, but we all remained in contact with each other. I remember Raul's love for sports, so I got him together with a couple of other high school friends to do a cricket coaching course with the Trinidad and Tobago Cricket Board. I then encouraged him to do the art and science of coaching at the University of the West Indies. I also encouraged him to apply for a scholarship at the Cipriani Labour College. He successfully completed all that he was encouraged to do. During the COVID period, the high school group remained organized couple times, including some of the female high school mates. It was there that we all realized that Raul could really chonky a pot and could make sada roti. Yes, he was a good cook. As COVID was gone, everyone became busy once more. No more limes. Raul and I remained in touch, however, and I encouraged him to join me in the gym as he complained about being too skinny and wanted to get more fit. The gym made us get even closer. We shared many conversations and personal stories, which I will keep dear to me because we trusted each other. The one thing he did not disclose, however, was how ill he was, which he had told me. As a mentor, he guided with patience, tough love, and the unwavering belief that success was within everyone's reach. We gather here today with heavy hearts, but also with warm memories and even some laughter, because if there's one thing Raul would never let us do, it's sit around being too serious for too long. Once there is a gathering, he was sure to share a joke to make us laugh. Raul was a teacher not just by profession, but by purpose. In his early years, his chalk-stained hands and quick wit made even the driest lessons memorable. Who else would turn quadratic equations into a comedy routine? Yes, for those who didn't know, Raul taught maths to many, who are now police officers, teachers, nurses, and other public servants. I often meet and hear some of them who would continue to praise him for them achieving success in maths and acknowledging him for where they are today. As he progressed through the secondary school system as a physical education teacher, his style of teaching didn't stop. He believed every student could succeed, and he made it his mission to ensure they did. Sometimes with encouragement, other times a raised eyebrow, that classic, "You've got this, stop playing games" look. As a teacher, he believed in his students, even when they didn't believe in themselves. He had that rare gift of making learning feel like an adventure, often peppered with sharp humor and the occasional sports reference, usually cricket related. At Hillview College, he taught PE from the Form 1 to Form 6. The success he achieved at both CSEC and Cape was phenomenal. It is no secret that many students from other prestige schools flocked Hillview College to do physical education at Cape because of the success of his students. Raul coached and mentored students who came in the top 10 in the entire Caribbean for the last couple of years. Yes, he dominated the results in Trinidad and Tobago and the entire Caribbean. I can testify that it did not come just like that. Raul had extra classes for his students. Often tired from work, but he remained dedicated and committed to his students, ensuring that they were successful at exams and achieved the highest possible mark and grade that they can. He had a rare blend of humor and heart, quick with a joke, quicker to lend a hand. His mentorship didn't end at graduation with his students. Raul kept in touch, celebrated their wins, and continued to guide and mentor them through whatever career path they chose. His Hillview College buddies were the center of many discussions. The staff at Hillview College made him happy. He would jokingly tell me many episodes about his day at school. His excitement couldn't hide when he spoke about all the jokes and fun they had with each other. He personally told me he will not trade on any other school for Hillview College. It was his buddies at Hillview who gave him some sanity as they made the work environment comfortable for him. On behalf of Raul, I want to thank his co-workers at Hillview College. I can attest to his love for his buddies at Hillview because he often invited me to their lives, and I can assure you he went all out to ensure they had enough food and drinks as gratitude for all the support and comfort they gave him at his workplace. Outside the classroom, Raul wore many hats. Proud father, supportive brother, loyal friend, and enthusiastic sports commentator whenever he meets up with his friends. Whether it was cricket, football, or any sport, Raul brought passion and a playful banter in equal measure. If you ever lost to him, he'd offer you a handshake, a laugh, then probably remind you that loss for the next 5 years. His passion for education was rivaled only by his love for sports. He believed that both in sports and in life, effort and heart mattered most. But what really made Raul unforgettable was his heart. He had this effortless way of making people feel like they belonged. Whether you were a student struggling to fit in, a new teacher finding your way, or a friend going through a rough patch, Raul saw you, he listened, he cracked a joke, he made things better, even if it was just for a moment. Though he is no longer with us in person, His lessons, laughter, and legacy lived on in every student he inspired, every life he touched, and every bad sportsman he ever made. And there were many. Raul's legacy is not just in his lessons he taught, but in the lives he changed, the laughter he sparked, the wisdom he shared, and the countless people who will carry a part of him forward in their own journeys. Remember Raul today not in sorrow alone, but with deep gratitude for a life, even though short-lived, it was well-lived. For love well given, and for the joy he brought to every room he entered. Today we say goodbye to our friend, and yes, it hurts. It hurts to lose someone who made the world a little lighter, but Raul wouldn't want us to carry only sorrow. You'll want us to laugh at the good times, to play that classic rock a little louder, and to pass on a little kindness, and maybe a well-timed joke. And yes, he did believe that every moment of life should have a soundtrack, preferably something by Queen, Journey, or Bon Jovi. I cherish the moments he will send those classic rock videos and songs just to cheer me up or lighten the mood. Raul, I will miss you, my dear friend and brother. I will surely miss that look of you shaking your head, but smiling when I walk into the gym after you. Or you are walking towards me to share a joke or give some talks if I reach before you. It felt good to know you appreciated me, dear brother. And I'm happy that you knew I appreciated you too. Thank you, my dear friend and brother, for all the wonderful memories. You will forever reside in my heart. I will forever miss you. Raul, thank you for being a bright light, a wise guide, and the kind of human we all strive to be. So here's to Raul, our teacher, teammate, friend, or brother. May we all live with half the heart, humor, and passion he shared so freely. Goodbye, my dear friend and brother. Thanks.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Karishma. And
I am Amrita. We had the honor of being Mr. Gajadhar's students during our final years of high school. I stand here today not just as a student, but as someone who is deeply impacted by the presence of an extraordinary human being. Today we gather to honor the life of someone who was not just a teacher, but a father, a brother, and a friend to many, Mr. RAUL Gajadhar. Mr. Gajadhar wasn't just our PE teacher. From day one in Hillview, he treated us with so much care and respect, and he even regarded us as his own children. I remember during my first week of Hillview, Mr. Gajadhar would call me to sit on the chemistry bench with him, and he would just ask me about my day, which was something that really stuck with me as a new student. In this way, he became sort of a father figure to us in school, always showing us great support in not only PE, but in our other subjects, looking out for us and making sure that we were okay, that nothing or anyone was bothering us in school. There was never a dull moment with Mr. Gajadhar. He used to refer to the girls as his boss ladies, and when we were with any of our male friends, he would always give them the "what are your intentions" speech, which always had them flustered because they never really expected it.
you know, just recently, all of his Form 6 students have this huge SB to complete. And throughout that tedious process, he would make it his duty to ensure that we weren't overwhelmed by the excessive workload, constantly telling us to take care of ourselves and our health. He always noticed when someone was down and would remind us that we mattered, and that how we were feeling was just as important as how we were performing. After a grueling test for a difficult class, you could always count on Mr. Gajadhar to be the first person to lift our spirits with a stale joke or a thoughtful word. He knew how to make us smile, even when we didn't feel like it. What made Mr. Gajadhar so special is that he made us feel seen as students. We all carry pieces of him with us now, in the lessons that he taught, in the confidence that he gave us, and in the stories that we'll keep telling about him. To his family and friends, our deepest condolences and unwavering love go out. We know that no words can ever fully ease the pain of losing someone so deeply and cherished. But in this moment, please know that you are not alone in your grief. You shared Mr. Gajadhar with us. And through that, you gave us someone who shaped our lives in many ways. And to all his students here today, his past students, we'll always remember him by his signature line, anytime we had an exam, 0 is a mark. Thank you, Mr. Gajadhar, for your patience and unwavering belief in all of us. You made a difference. You still do. You may be gone now, but memories of you will forever live on. May your soul rest peacefully in Lord Krishna's arms. Thank you. Oh, sorry.
Okay, good afternoon, everyone. To say Mr. Gajadhar was a PE teacher doesn't come close. He was a light in his school, a presence that lifted spirits, encouraged effort, and made every one of us feel seen. He supported us, he pushed us, and he always reminded us that 0 is a mark. He had a way of making even the most difficult obstacles feel lighter, often with a sarcastic remark that somehow made us laugh and reflect at the same time. Encouraging us with words like, if you don't win the scholarship, we're fighting like man, and always being extremely involved and supportive of Hillview sports such as the cricket team. Mr. Gajadhar was more than just a teacher. He was a constant. He was someone you could go to, someone who didn't just teach, but truly cared. For every student who ever struggled, he gave time. For every student who ever shined, he clapped the loudest. And for all of us, he gave memories that will last a lifetime. On behalf of all his students, past and present, thank you, Mr. Gajadhar. You didn't just teach PE, you made an everlasting mark on each and every one of us, and we'll never forget you. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. On behalf of RAUL's friends, staff at Hillview, we offer our deepest sympathies, and just as important, we offer our support. RAUL was not one big on tradition. He never wanted us to be sad. And my friend here gave us some of RAUL's old nicknames. If I were to tell you some of RAUL's new nicknames, one of them was Prowler, for his 4 o'clock in the morning activities where they're going to the gym. One was Trin-City RAUL. And the last one I'm going to tell you was Dia. And he always told me, he said, Nigel, you have to tell this story. We were at a lime here, and RAUL was in charge of the barbecue. And the grill that he brought out was 6 inches by 9 inches. And I said, but boss, that's that's a little bigger than a Dia. He said, but the meat will get cooked, RAUL was a unique individual. RAUL was a kindred spirit to many of us. Everybody loved him. He helped everybody, whether it was the members of staff, whether it was their children, RAUL was always available. He was a phone call away. And I can't even look at him now because it's such a pain to us. The news hasn't sunk in yet. I know that he's extremely happy at this point because of the amount of Hillview people that he sees. So, gentlemen and ladies, just give RAUL a little clap on his way for a job well done. It's devastating. I don't think we can recover yet, and I don't think anybody has a bad word to say about Trin-City RAUL. So with that, again, I offer our support. To his family, we are always there. To his friends, come join us on the bench. And one of the
one of the greatest moments Raul has said that happened to him in the last year was when we ran out to the van to go and take a picture with a candidate. And he was so happy. We spoke about that for days. You know, so that was the last thing he and I were talking about on the Friday before, you know, he decided to go another route. So again, please accept our sympathies.
Panditji, members of the family, members of the teaching staff, and students of Hillview College, on behalf of the Hillview Old Boys Association, we extend our very deep condolences and sympathies to his family, friends and relatives, and colleagues. We know that this is a very outstanding loss to the Hillview community, as well as to his local community here in Guaico. RAUL over the last few years has achieved magnificent results, as his students have attested. But indeed, in 2023, when Hillview College scored the double President's Gold Medals, RAUL was a significant part of that success because he taught physical education and sports to such an extent that, as our friend mentioned before, it's worth repeating that his results at the Cape level were the most outstanding in the entire Caribbean and allowed our student to score that second President's Gold Medal. Hillview has suffered a tremendous loss, as well as his family. Panditji, man proposes and God disposes. And all we are left now is that we can pray that Bhagwanji grant his soul moksha so that his soul will achieve complete liberation from the eternal cycle of birth and death. With these few words, Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.
Take off this.
Blessed good afternoon. I have known Raul since primary school.
We both attended Guaico Presbyterian School together. And I remember when he did his open heart surgery. And the announcement was made in the school that we had to take care with him and make sure that he didn't do anything to overwork himself and to ensure that nothing happened to Raul while he was in school. We went through our primary school life together, and then we ended up in Northeastern. As Jiwan said, he came across, he met us. We ended up in high school together. And when my brother's and my great nephew ended up in Hillview, I was happy to know that Raul was there. So the first person I called, I told him, I said, here, what? My brother's grandson is coming there. You will be my contact to him. And for the 6 years that Ethan has been there thus far, Raul has guided him. He has been there. And anything I could call Raul on the phone and say, I needed to do this for him or that, and he will do it. We rekindled our friendship when through Eton, through Hillview, through the teaching fraternity, going to the cricket matches, meeting up Raul,
Then he would look at me and say, Darren, you're going back Grande after you finish here? I say, yeah. He said, all right, I'm taking a lift with you. You know, he would come up the road, we will chat in the car. We'll rekindle all our primary school days, all our high school days. I must say, standing here today and hearing all the accolades and everything, you know, what Raul did and how much he was loved by each and everyone, that's the person that I knew from the time we went into primary school. And he didn't change a bit. He didn't. Right? My friend, my colleague, rest in peace. We're all here for you and your family. Take care.
That's it. Om Hari Om Tat Sat Pretatma Shanti Ram Nam Satya Hai. I am a former student of Hillview College as well, under the administration of Mr. Richard Kokaram. So even as we remember the life that Raul has lived, we focus the mind, or we turn our attention now to the purpose for which we have come here. Well, of course, we have many purposes. We come to express our grief, to say our final farewell. But most importantly, we have come for the purpose of doing whatever we can to assist that soul on the journey in the hereafter. Because this journey, we are reminded, is here for each and every one of us. Right? Krishna Bhagwan reminds us in the Srimad Bhagavad Gita in chapter 15. He says, Jatasya hi dhruvo mrityur dhruvam janma mritasya cha. That death is a part and parcel of this existence. That is the only guarantee and the only truth of this life, really and truly, if we think about it. You know, whether we're here today, whether we would be here tomorrow, none of that is guaranteed. What we might eat, what we might wear, where we might sleep, none of these things are guaranteed for us. The only thing that's guaranteed is death. And so we always take that opportunity as the reminder. It reminds us how we should live this life, because that's where the focus is. This life is really for a short time. This life, he says to us, Vasam sijiranani yata vihaya navani grihanati naroparani tata sharirani vihaya jiranan yanyani samyati navani dehi. Bhagwan Krishna, Sri Krishna reminds us that this soul changes bodies in the same way that we change clothing. The soul only spends a few moments in the body, equal in the time period of the soul as the few moments that we wear a suit of clothes, whether a half day or a whole day or what have you. And eventually that body is discarded and the soul moves on. And so we focus on what is long term, which is that soul or that Jivatma. And Sri Krishna Bhagwan reminds us where that soul has come from and what speaks to the goal that we are seeking. He says, Mamai Vamsho Jiva Loke Jiva Bhuta Sanatanaha Manaha Shashtan Indriyani Prakritistani Karshati. He reminds us firstly that this soul that has brought all of us alive, this Jivatma that has brought life to this human body, it is a particle of myself, himself that he is referring to, that is the Param Atma. He is the Supreme Soul or the Param Atma of the universe. And so what we seek, he says that this soul has come out of me. This is why we ask for Preta Moksha Pradobhava. May this soul return into oneness with Param Atma or the Supreme Soul. That is what we are working towards. But what he says in that same verse, when that soul has entered into the human body, it draws around itself, or it becomes enclosed or encaged, so to speak, in the mind, by the mind and the five senses. Now the mind and the five senses is the medium through which that soul connects with the physical world around. The soul itself is a spiritual entity. It has no physical qualities. He says, Na jayate mriyate vakadachin nayam bhutva bhavitavana bhuya ajo nityam shasvato yam purano nahanyate hanyamane sharire. he says that this soul has no physical qualities. It has no color, no texture, no taste, no smell, no sound, nothing like that. No physical qualities can be attributed to the soul, so we cannot interact in the human form or through the five senses on the outside with the soul. The soul is enclosed by the mind and the five senses. These also work as the conduit through which the soul interacts with the world outside. And we know that mind and five senses create the product that is us. We are the product of the mind and five senses. The thoughts that we have, the words that we speak, the actions that we perform in all these ways. And so those actions now that we perform throughout the course of life, the relationships that we create and so on, these are classified as karmas, right? The actions we perform with the mouth, the hands, the words we speak, the thoughts that we hold, and the actions we perform with the body, the hands, and the feet, etc. These are the karmas or the actions that we perform during life, and these are classified as karmas, and they carry two subdivisions or two classifications, which are good and bad karmas. Now we are seeking the goal preta moksha pradobhava, and he says to us, Shariram yadavapnoti yachapyut kramati shwaraha grihit vaitani samyati vayur gandhani vashayat. So when that soul, now the time has come for the soul to depart this body, we do not know when that time will come for us. Death is unpredictable, and it often comes suddenly, right? And none of us really know, even if we know we're not well, or we know that we have some illness that may be terminal or what have you, we do not know the exact moment we're going to depart. So most times, or if not all the time, death is sudden to us. And so when death comes, that soul now departs the body, but the soul does not depart on its own. He says, Shariram yadavapnoti yachapyut kramati shwaraha grihit vaitani samyati vayur gandhani vashayat. The same way that the passing breeze takes with it the smell of whatever it comes into contact with, the same way that soul now departing the body takes with it the mind and the five senses. So it's also a reminder for us that death is not the end of our connection, that is not the full end of that person, it is just the end of the physical aspect of this existence. We consider that soul, the mind, and the five senses to now be existing somewhere else. That soul carries with it the mind and the five senses. And however, what goes with that mind and five senses also is the record of this life, the weight or the record of the good and bad actions, that which is classified as righteous activity, which is in line with the Holy Scriptures and so on, and that which is classified as sins. Now the good actions, what is classified in that way, carries the soul closer to the attainment of moksha or liberation. But the sins, they become the burden. Now, of course, we acknowledge that all of us carry a certain amount of sins, right? Because when we think about the classification of sins, even the minor negligible things that we may ignore or not consider, the scriptures consider some of these as carrying weighting upon us, right? I always like to point out that, even the act of survival, even the act of surviving on a day-to-day basis by keeping the place clean and tidy and so on. If you're taking the insecticide and you're spraying around the place for the ants and the insects, etc., of course we're destroying those, right? But then when we do the bandara on the 13th day, one of the things that we're doing to assist the soul is that we taking out some food and we offering that for the purpose of feeding the ants and the insects, right? So we perform that as good action. So even the negligible things, when we take out the food, we're taking out some for the birds as well, right? And some, of course, sometimes people consume the birds, etc. So we carry in the weight of sins. We must acknowledge that, no matter how good we feel we are. And so the sins, whatever little it may be, or however much it might be, that becomes a burden, because that now, the mind and five senses, or the record of this life, is attached to the soul. So this really instructs us or reminds us why we perform these after death rites, known as this Antyesti samskar, on behalf of the departed person. This is for the purpose of assisting the soul on the journey, because death has come suddenly. You know, we might have in mind that we want to balance our karmas and leave with only the weight of the good karmas. We might perform some great charitable action or some great yagya or puja, etc. But death comes suddenly, and you know, we left things undone. We left debts owing behind, all these things. And so the persons who we leave behind, whether it's sons or nephews or grandsons or what have you, they can perform this ritual on our behalf to assist the soul on that journey. Oh, somebody else want to talk? All right. So all that I'm getting at is a single point, really, that we performing these rituals, all the pindas, all of the dan, the gifts that we give in the form of food, etc., throughout the course of 1 year, it is done on behalf of the soul to help release the soul from any minor negative karmas that may be causing that prohibition or being that burden or weight on the soul to prevent the attainment of moksha or liberation. And that is why we perform all these rites. It is because of our love and commitment to the individual. We try to assist, even in the hereafter, to get that soul as close as possible to attaining what is called moksha or liberation, that is oneness with the Supreme God. If not, we say, may the soul have sadgati, right? We hear the word sadgati often now. Sadgati is not exactly moksha. Sadgati means to be in a state where there is no suffering or no hardship or no pain and difficulties. Asadgati is in a state of difficulty. So sadgati or moksha, we seek for that soul. So I think somebody else wanted to offer a few words, so they could take that opportunity.
Good day, everyone. We're gathered here to say goodbye to a man who meant so much to us, formerly known as Mr. Gajadhar. He served as a physical education teacher and a manager of the Hillview cricket team, but he was more than those titles suggest. He was our mentor, our motivator, and our friend. He believed in us, pushed us to be better, and stood by us no matter the outcome. He celebrated our wins and lifted us during losses. His passion, dedication, and care built more than a team. He built a family. We always remember his words of encouragement, his warm smile, and the pride he took in seeing us grow, not just as players, but as people. On behalf of the Hillview College cricket team, thank you, Mr. Gajadhar, for your years of service in the development of the nation's future. You are more than just a teacher. Rest in peace.
Hariom Tat Sat, Pretatma Shanti, Ram Nam Satya Hai. So before I close, offer the closing prayer, because I know one of the main reasons most of us have, or many of us have come, is to take that final moment to say goodbye to the departed and so on, offer your flower, what have you. You're going to have that opportunity to do so. So what I'll offer right now, followed by the closing prayer, after which everyone would have that opportunity. Of course, the host family would have the opportunity to put their matters, etc. first, and then everyone who wishes to can come and have that moment to offer a flower, etc. So before I offer the closing prayer, I will offer one bhajan as we turn to Bhagwan Krishna, acknowledging him as that Param Atma or that Supreme Soul, and asking of him, O Bhagwan, as the Supreme Lord of the universe, the one in whose hands everything rests, the one who is in full control of everything that exists, we offer this soul at your mercy, O Bhagwan, and we seek your compassion and your kindness and your protection of that departed. Jaya Krishna Hare, Sri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyo ko dukha dur karo. Jai 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 Krishna Hare, Jai Krishna Hare, Sri Krishna Hare, Dukhiyo ke dukha dur kare. Jai 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 Krishna Hare. जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो, आशा की दूर किनारा हो, जब चार तरफ अंधियारा हो। आशा की दूर किनारा हो, और कोई न खेवन वाला हो, फिर तू ही बेड़ा पार करो। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे। दुखियों को दुख दूर करे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। तू चाहे तो सब कुछ कर दे, विष को भी अमृत कर दे। पूरन कर दे सबकी आशा, पूरन कर दे सबके आशा। जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे, जो भी तेरा ध्यान धरे। जय 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 कृष्ण हरे, जय कृष्ण हरे, श्री कृष्ण हरे। दुखियों के दुख दूर करे, जय 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 कृष्ण हरे. As we ask of Bhagwan Sri Krishna, recognizing or coming to you as the Paramatma, the Supreme Soul and the Supreme Controller of the universe, acknowledging you as the ocean of mercy and compassion, O Bhagwan, we come to you as your humble servants, seeking your mercy, your compassion, your kindness, and your protection on that departed soul, O Bhagwan. We come to you at this time of immense pain and anxiety that we feel through the loss of our loved one, O Bhagwan. No one can be found around who can take away the pain and hardship that we feel at this moment, O Bhagwan. The sadness that overcomes us, no one can remove that at this point in time. And so we turn to you as the one who is in control of all. And we offer this soul at your lotus feet, O Bhagwan. You are the one who can take this soul out of that terrible cycle or that terrible ocean of birth and death, O Bhagwan. Please grant, we pray that you grant this soul moksha or liberation. Take this soul into a place where there will be no hardship, no suffering, no pain. You know, we acknowledge this world as a place of sadness, sorrow, hardship, difficulties. The moments of happiness and enjoyments are few and in between, and so we seek freedom from this material world, O Bhagwan. And so we offer this soul at your lotus, into your lotus hands for that purpose. O Bhagwan, please grant this departed moksha or liberation or oneness with yourself. We offer our praises to you again and again for that purpose. Om Shanti, 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 Hari Om Tat Sat, Pretatma, Shanti, Ram Nam, Satya Hai. If everyone can stand for a few moments as we offer a final prayer, and of course, as mentioned, or you could take a little flowers. I could stand up back right here. And pray to Bhagwan Sri Krishna, Lord Vishnu. We focus once more on the form of Sri Krishna as that Paramatma, and we beg of him, O Bhagwan, please grant your mercy and your compassion and your protection on that departed soul. Hari Om. Tvamari Deva Purusha Puranas Tvamasya Vishwasya Param Nidhanam Vetasi Vedyam Chaparam Chadhama Tvaya Tatam Vishwamanantarupa Vayuryamognir Varuna Shashanka Prajapatistam Praptamascha Namo namaste stu sahasrakritva punascha bhuyopi namo namaste. Om Anadi Nidhano Deva Shankachakra Gadadhara Akshaya Pundarikaksha Pretamoksha Prado Bhava Om Hiranyagarbha Purushaha Vyakta Vyakta Swarupinaha Asya Pretasya Mokshartam Suprito Bhava Sarvada Om Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Padmanabham Suresham Vishwadharam Gaganasadrisham Meghavarnam Shubhangam Lakshmikantam Kamalanayanam Yogi Virdhyanagamyam Vande Vishnum Bhavabhayaharam Sarvalokaikkanatham Tvameva Mata cha Pita Tvameva Bandhuscha Sakha Tvameva Vidya Dravinam Tvameva Sarvam Mama Deva Deva Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Pretatma Shanti Ram Nam Satya Hai. Right, so you can take back your seats for now, and of course we will start by offering the opportunity to all those who wish to take that final moment with the departed. So the family and son.
We talking for so much time. Just remind me of your name, please.
Sanjeev Maharaj.
Sanjeev.
Maharaj, yeah.
Once I say under the leadership.
Under Kokaram time.
I was there until 2005. I retired.
Okay.
In 2005. So I was there since 1965.
Okay, in the Old Boys Association.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh. What's your name?
Slide this way.
ओम यम द्वारे महाघोरे अंधेना तमसावृते तत्रावलोकनार्थाय दीपो यमुपतिष्ठितम् ओम कश्यप गोत्रस्य sprinkle water 5 times around and 3 times on top. Om Suryam Chakshur Gachatu Dhatam Atmadyam Shadricha Dharmana Apo Vagachayati Tatate Hitam Aushadishu Pratitishta Sharirai Om Panchatattva Shanti Bhavatu Om Panchatattva Shanti Bhavatu Om Panchatattva Shanti Bhavatu. Take it now from the right hand, put it into the left hand.
Now we have a guide the hand.
ओम कश्यप गोत्रस्य रोकिसून प्रेतस्य द्वार देशे पांच निमित्त विष्णु दैवतो वा एकते पिंडो मया दीयते तव उपतिष्ठितम् ओम एष तीर्थांजलिस्ते मया दीयते तव उपतिष्ठितम् ओम राम नाम सत्य है.
Organized by. So gentlemen, your offending hand is really close.
Yeah. Wrap your hand over the cloth and for the cloth.
Up. Where is it close?
Nobody water. That's what that's when you pass it. Ready to leave.
Are you going in front?
Yeah, go in front of me.
Front of
Come, clear. Carry she. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. One side is short, and the other side is
Just once.
yeah. One side in everything.
One time, right?
took some
इंसान ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान भटक रहे हम राह दिखा दे भगवान राह दिखा रे भटक रहे हम राह दिखा दे भगवान राह दिखा रे कदम कदम पर किरण बिछा दे भगवान किरण बिछा
ओम यम द्वारे महाघोरे अंधेनाथमसावृते तत्रावलोकनार्थाय निकोलयपतिष्ठितम्
battery. I had to change my battery. My battery. No battery. Huh? Yeah.
Here using the mic and up there.
Hi guys, you would have to have a seat, right? You'd have seats on that side and on this side.
Same four, right?
Yeah. So you put that here by the foot. Put it to side, this is somewhere. Pray to Guaico Tamana Road, Miami, and later on Asian Hills and Antyesti. Check it out.
Where could we raise this, put that on, then put this on top of it? Put the leaf first and then put this. Yeah. Put the leaf and then rest that on top of it. So you go keep the leaf. Put it on top. Yeah. You cannot press it. You could press it a little thing here. Yeah. Yeah. Touch it. Oh. Alright. Well, put it how you was putting it and yeah. Touch it in the ghee. Just put it over. Put it right there. And
One side and one side. One each side.
branch. Could put just a little piece. Oh. You could put it right down by the foot. Yeah, if they say you could put the whole thing. Everything bonan. Anybody want to say or take a second? Anybody want a second view? Or that's it? Or let us say so. Right, so all ready? I think they, yeah. Sorry. Perfect. That's not game up past there already pretty important. Take that and the loot. Feeling that heat already, boy. Okay.
Go on to the back of it. Yeah. Shivan, mix up right there.
ओम प्रव्यादम अग्निम प्रहीन ओमि दूरम यमाराग्यो गच्छतुर प्रवाहा इह वायमितरो जात विद्या देवेभ्यो हव्यम वहतु प्रजानन ओम त्वं भूतभृत् 3 times ओम त्वं भूतभृत् जगद्युदिस्त्वं भूतपालकः मृतः सांस्कृतिकस्तमादेनं त्वं स्वर्गतिं नमः. So okay, trying to make 55 offerings into the fire, right? 5-5. Om Yamaya Namaha Swadha. Om Dharmarajaya Namaha Swadha. Om Mrityave Namaha Swadha. Om Kaya Namaha Swadha. Om Swataya Namaha Swadha. Om Kaya Namaha Swadha. Om Sarvabhutakshaya Namaha Swadha. Om Audumbaraya Namaha Swadha. Om Dadhanaya Namaha Swadha. Om Nilaya Namaha Swadha. ओम परमेष्टिने नमः स्वधा ओम रिकोडराय नमः स्वधा ओम चित्राय नमः स्वधा ओम चित्रगुप्ताय वै नमः स्वधा ओम लोमभ्य स्वाहा ओम त्वचे स्वाहा ओम लोहिताय स्वाहा ओम मेदोभ्य स्वाहा ओम मांसेभ्य स्वाहा ओम स्नायुभ्य स्वाहा ओम अस्तभ्य स्वाहा ओम मज्जभ्य स्वाहा ओम रेतसे स्वाहा ओम पायवे स्वाहा ओम आयासाय स्वाहा ओम प्रायासाय स्वाहा ओम संन्यासाय स्वाहा ओम वियासाय स्वाहा ओम उद्यासाय स्वाहा ओम शुचे स्वाहा ओम शोचते स्वाहा ओम शोचमानाय स्वाहा ओम शोकाय स्वाहा ओम तपसे स्वाहा ओम तप्यते स्वाहा ओम तप्यमानाय स्वाहा ओम तप्ताय स्वाहा ओम घर्माय स्वाहा ओम निष्कृत्याय स्वाहा ओम प्रायश्चित्याय स्वाहा ओम भेषजाय स्वाहा ओम यमाय स्वाहा ओम अंतकाय स्वाहा ओम मृत्युवे स्वाहा ओम ब्रह्मणे स्वाहा ओम ब्रह्महत्याय स्वाहा ओम विश्वभ्यो देवेभ्यः स्वाहा ओम ध्यावा पृथ्वीभ्यां स्वाहा ओम just now 1 second ओम कश्यप गोत्रस्य रॉल अनिल किसून प्रेतस्य धनिष्ठादि पंचक जन्य धुर्मर नारी वंशारिष्ट निवारणार्थम पंचक विधानम करिष्ये 5-6 again ओम प्रेत वाहाय स्वाहा ओम प्रेत सखाय स्वाहा प्रेत पाय स्वाहा ओम प्रेत भूमि पाय स्वाहा ओम प्रेत हर्त्रे स्वाहा. Hold it over and scrape out all the rest. Om Pretaya Namaha Swadha. Right. Take the water, sprinkle water 3 times around. Om Kravyadagne Namaha Agne Naya Supatharaya Asmana Vishwani Deva. Huh? Yeah. 5 times you're walking around. Take it up and walk past, right? If it's new, you got to put it on. 5 times. Om Kritva Dushkitam Karma Janata Vapya Janata Mrityu Kala Vasham Pyantam Twamagat Dharma Dharma Samayuktam Lobha Moha Samavritam Dehe Yam Vagatrani Divukan Sagachatu Om Agnaya Paraya Mana Vishwani Deva Adina Deva Kaksha Preta Moksha Pradobhava. 5, okay. stand up right there and just face south. Right, pray to Agni, the Lord of the Fire, to consume the body and take it, of course, to return the body to the humans. But Agni is Kravyad for the flesh-eating fire, but he also takes the record of the life, he takes the soul to where it has to go, he takes the record of the karmas and all these things to the various places. So pray to him and pray to Lord Vishnu to grant moksha to the soul. Krinavo jata vedo tevenam prahino tam yadag karasi jata vedo te tat yada gachantya sunati meta mata om deva bhavati om suryam chakshur gachatu atmadyam cha gachatu apova gachayati tatte hitam odishu pratitishta sharirai ajo bhagastapasatam tapaswatam te shorchi tapastu tam te archi yasu shivastan vojata veda dasta birvahitasul punar agne pitri yasya ahutas charati swadhabhi ayurvasa paveta shochah chatam veda omanadina dano gadadara akshaya pundarikaksh pretamoksha pradbhava shanti 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 hari om tatsat pretatma shanti. That's all right. That right. And you come outside to do the tarpan, right? Ego come? No, ego. You have to rush. Yeah, the tarpan. Outside it. All right. All right. I know it. Long and deal. All right.
आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। भटक रहे हम राह दिखा दे भगवान, राह दिखा रे। भटक रहे हम राह दिखा दे भगवान, राह दिखा दे। कदम कदम पर किरण बिछा दे भगवान, किरण बिछा दे। ओ भगवान किरण बिछा दे। इन अखियन को प्रभु करा दे, इन अखियन को प्रभु करा दे। ज्योति से पहचान, ज्योति से पहचान। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान। आज अंधेरे में है हम इंसान, ज्ञान का सूरज चमका दे भगवान।